The economy is in shambles. The economy is in a very bad place, and the people are hurting, they're suffering. There's so much suffering in this country. We hear of students fainting in schools because they go to school without food, and then they are studying in the schools without food. There's a shortage of medicine. Our health system is being degraded. Our education system is being degraded. There is not enough support for agriculture, not enough support for fishing, not enough support for the working people in this country. Labor laws and all are being eroded into. In this context is what we see the government of today, this government which is seriously discredited, which has no legitimacy actually, is using repression, all the repressive measures at hand to suppress protest. Now we all know about the Aragalaya Poratam struggle that brought down the previous government and asked Gotabaya, the previous president to flee the country. But the same measures that that president used are being used today to break the back of the youth of this country and by doing that, break the people of this country, their resistance, their strength, their will to survive. And this is something that cannot be accepted. This is something that has to be resisted. This has to be questioned. And today when we discuss and when we look at how Vasanta Mudalige and Sirida Mahamadura had been incarcerated for so long without any question, without any logic, without any morality, ethics on this part of, ethical consideration on the part of this government, then we know we are in a very bad place, and and there's trouble to come. And when trouble hits us, even worse than it is now, there'll be nobody to speak up for us. And this is something that we have to seriously question and rise against. And in the Movement for People's Council, we are talking about what we can do about the economy, what we can do about human rights, what we can do about people's rights, access to health, access to education, and these young people like Vasanta Mudalige and Sirida Mahamaduru, they had been talking about these things, about our children and about our grandchildren, about you and me. And the answer on the part of the government has been to imprison them in very harsh conditions. And this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable to me. It's not acceptable to you. It should not be acceptable to any of the politicians. And they need to question this again and again in every street, in every corner, on every platform, and in the parliament. This repression has been going on for so long in the guise of, using the PTA, which was enacted in 1979. And PT has been used again and again and again and again against the minorities in particular, against the Tamils during the war, Tamil youth, then during the insurrection or in the south against Sinhala people, and then particularly after the Easter bombings against Muslim people. And there has been very little questioning. There has been very little discussion on this. There has been very little political resistance to the PTA. So the time has come when now that the entire country is engulfed in this suffering, trauma, economic suffering, political suffering, we have to now think about getting rid of the PTA in a very serious way. Not just the PTA, but all repressive measures and all repressive organizations. Recently, the government also came up with a terrorist list of 300 people. The majority of them are Muslim youth and Tamil youth. It's a terrorist list that they have cooked up and is being used against this mostly young men, Muslim men, Tamil men, and Sinhala people, Sinhala youth. So we have to see that we have to know that the government is using all kinds of measures to put down the youth of this country, and we have to raise our voice against it. 94 academics, university academics, signed a statement against repression. This is almost unprecedented. This was last week. 94 university academics, past, present academics, who are working, who have been of the university system. It's unprecedented for 94 university people to sign a statement against repression. And that is an indication of how seriously we are taking this question also. And the Movement for People's Council, other groups, other activist groups, other civil society groups, they all are coming together to talk about it, and I hope we can take this further into the people and push it as a demand, as a very serious demand. And one of the key questions of that would be release Vasantha Mudalige and also take care of Siddha Mahamaduru and all other people who are being incarcerated really unjustly, arbitrarily.
The News Reporter. වාරණයෙන් තොර අපක්ෂපාතී වාර්තාකරණය.